IamJArt.com.
Peep game, you know what it is. It's your man Skyzoo, Skyzoo, live from the borough. You're logged on, tuned in. J Hart, the Big Bang Show. You know what it is, baby. Stay tuned.
J Hart, Paris, London, New York, Africa. On the Big Bang Show, you get that real hip hop home with him.
Yo, we are with Skyzoo today on the Big Bang Show, man. What's up?
Yeah. What up?
You good?
Yeah, man. Good to be here, you know.
Okay. So, for people who don't know you, just introduce yourself.
Skyzoo, Brooklyn, New York. MC, lyricist, songwriter, ghostwriter for a lot of other rappers, and record collector at the same time, you know?
Yeah, we were in A1 Records earlier before to do this
Absolutely.
interview. You picked up some good vinyls.
Yeah.
We will talk about that. I want to talk about that through your life. So, first question, man. If you were jazz records, what records will it be?
Oh, man, that's an amazing question. Wayne Shorter, Speak No Evil. Yeah, I'd say Wayne Shorter, Speak No Evil. I think that record, that album, it shows the balance. You know, you've got kind of your slower ballads, not ballads, but you know, your more slower records.
Yeah.
You've got your little more, not up-tempo, but a little faster pace. But I think they all give you the same vibe of what Wayne Shorter was doing with that album and just who he was and is as a musician, as a saxophonist, and what he was able to put together with that ensemble that he put together on that. So Wayne Shorter, Speak No Evil, Miles Davis, Someday My Prince Will Come, Miles Davis, Kinda Blue.
Well, you have to choose one, man.
Yeah, a couple. But Wayne Shorter, Speak No Evil, if we got to pick one.
Okay, hip-hop, and a hip-hop one? Hip-hop records?
If I was a hip-hop album, any one of my records from my career. Music for My Friends, of course. Yeah. Salvation, Dream Deferred, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And a soundtrack?
If I were a soundtrack, wow. If I were a soundtrack, let me see. The Juice soundtrack. The New Jack City soundtrack. Let's say the Juice soundtrack for the movie Juice. Yeah.
Okay. Why I'm talking about records though is because you like records,
Right.
and even your name comes from records.
Yeah.
You can talk
Skyzoo.
about that.
Yeah, well, my name, Skyzoo. So the way I got that, my real name is Skyler, Skyler. And when I was young, early 80s, early mid-80s, there was a disco group out by the name of Sky, Skyy is how they spell their name. And they had a song called Skyzoo. It was Skyyyzoo. So they had an extra Y. And that record was a big disco record. They were from Brooklyn. They were a big disco band. And that record was a big disco record in the 80s. And my family, like my aunts and cousins and different people, they used to call me that as a toddler, 2-3 years old. They used to call me Skyzoo as a nickname because it was similar to Skyler, Sky, whatever. And it just stuck. So even before I started rapping, you know, I was being called Skyzoo in my family. So once I started to rap, I just ran with it.
Okay. And let's talk about the beginning. You grew up one block away from Notorious BIG.
Biggie, yeah.
How was it like?
Oh, man.
Big influence for you,
Yeah.
I guess?
Yeah, growing up a block away from Biggie was amazing, you know. The inspiration, the influence, you know, was huge. You know, being able to see somebody right up the block who made it, you could say, I can make it too. You know, even as a kid, I was a little kid when Big blew. I was maybe 11, 12 years old.
Okay.
But seeing Big do it, it was like, yeah, we could do it too, you know? So that was the vibe and the MO with that. You know, it was amazing being able to see that, being able to see the greatest, one of the greatest ever tell stories about your neighborhood. The thing about Ready to Die, all those records was happening in my neighborhood. Those stories were things that was going on in my neighborhood. So it was an amazing experience to be able to say that.
And you had the chance to talk with him?
Yeah, as a kid, you know, we saw Big all the time, and you know, we would get nervous because he was big homie. You know, we were little kids, 11, 12, 13. Biggie was 21, 22, 23. You know, so he was big homie to us all. So we was a little nervous, and you know, as a little kid, just running up, seeing him in the Lexus, seeing him in the Benz. You know, just seeing him as a little kid, but it was inspirational for sure.
Okay. So let's move along. 2006, Cloud9
Cloud9.
collaboration with Ninth Wonder.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess it's a big gap for you. It's a big step
Yeah.
in your career. So
Yeah, absolutely.
tell us the story. How you wish Ninth Wonder, because
Right.
especially 2006 it was
Yeah.
very big at this time.
Right. So what happened was I met Ninth in 2005. I met him through a friend of mine named Sean Don, who formerly of the Justice League. You know, when the Justice League was doing their thing.
Yeah.
I met Sean Don up here in New York. He took some music back to North Carolina, and he put Ninth and Tay and Big Doe and Pooh and Scudder and all those guys onto the music. And you know, from there, they invited me to come to North Carolina in 2005 and make some music with them. I went out there, did a bunch of records. The records never came out, but I went out there and just did a bunch of records just for fun, just for exercise. And every time I would see Ninth after that, he would give me a beat CD. It was kind of like a little running thing.
Yo.
Every time I would see him in New York or North Carolina or whatever, he'd be like, yo, Sky, here. You know, I'll meet him at the hotel. Yo, here. It would just be a bunch of beat CDs. And one day in 2006, I just had all these beat CDs in my house, and I was listening to CDs as if they was albums, and I said, man, these are a lot of Ninth beats that I never touched. And I just started, you know, making records. So I made 9 records in 2 days. I took all the CDs to the studio.
Yeah.
I locked in, and I made 9 records in 2 days. And then a week later, I booked a flight to North Carolina. I went to North Carolina to hang out with Ninth. I gave him the CD and didn't tell him what it was. I said, yo, here, put this in your car. The next day, he called me and said, yo, what you doing today? Meet me at the studio at 12 o'clock. This CD you gave me is crazy. These 9 songs, this is crazy. So we went to the studio, and we did 3 more songs in 1 day. And that's how it became 12 songs in 3 days. I did 9 in 2 days, and I did the final 3 in 1 day.
Okay.
And that's how it became Cloud9, the 3-day high, 12 songs in 3 days.
Okay.
And we put it out. I said, what do you want to do with it? He said, man, whatever you want. You got my blessing. Rock out.
Dope.
And I ran out. I got the deal with Traffic for it, and I ran around and did all the promo and the videos, and
Dope.
Ninth stood tall for it, so it was a good time.
Okay. Now we move along to 2007 with DJ Premier, Get It Down records.
Yeah. So once Cloud9 came out, all these producers and artists and different people, magazines, they started showing me love because they saw Ninth Wonder did a whole album with this kid. He did a whole EP. I call it an EP. Ninth did a whole EP, a whole project with Skyzoo. I never heard of him, but he did a whole joint with him. He must be dope.
Yeah.
So I met DJ Premier. I want to say I met Preem in 05, 06, early on. And he was showing love to Cloud9 and all that stuff. And at the same time, he was showing love to my man Torae, homie of mine. And me and Torae met in 2005 as well.
Okay.
So he was showing love. And he said, you know, I want to do a record. I want to do a record with Skyzoo. I want to do a record with Torae. But what if we do the record with y'all together? Because I don't have too much time to do 2 separate records right now. So instead of doing one with Skyzoo and one with Torae, how about we do a record with y'all together? And me and Torae was already homies, so we was like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. So we did Get It Done. And then ironically, we wound up doing a second record anyway. We wound up doing Click maybe like a month or 2 later.
Yeah.
We could have done 1 and 1, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did because it showed people the synergy and the chemistry that me and Torae have. So we did Get It Done and Click. It was the A-side, B-side. And Click was the first beat that Preem did for us, but he didn't like Click originally. What happened was he made Click, and he wasn't really crazy about the beat. He was like, yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I'm not sure. I want to make another one. Come back tomorrow, I'll make another one. So we come back the next day. He made Get It Done. We was going crazy. Yo, this beat is nuts. And then like a month later, he called us and was like, yo, that Click beat is growing on me. I like that beat. Let's do that too. And we went back to the studio and did another record. And it turned out Click became an even bigger record than Get It Done. So it's just the, you know, the irony of how things happen. But that's how all that came together.
That's dope, man. Yo. Yeah, because what I like about you is you work alone.
Right.
A real entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like.
Right.
And talking about that, I want to talk about the year 2009 with your first album.
Debut album, yeah.
Salvation. I heard stories you were thinking about this album since you were 9 years old.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Absolutely. So the way as an artist, whether it's hip hop, R&B, pop, rock, whatever type of music you make, the day you decide to start making music, seriously, the day where you're all about it and you're going crazy. From that moment on, all you think about is your debut album. You say to yourself, when I make an album, what is it going to sound like? What is it going to look like? What is it going to be like? So there's a saying that says you take your whole life to make your first album. And that's what happened with The Salvation. There were stories and different things that I spoke about on that album that I had in mind for years. You know, records like For What It's Worth, The Shooter soundtrack, you know, all these different records, Maintain. These are ideas and emotions and stories that I was going through years before, but I wanted to wait until my debut album because I wanted it all to be a part of one story. So The Salvation, 2009, people call it a classic. You know, the game, the fans call it a classic, man, and I'm honored by it. Ninth Wonder was on it, Illmind was on it, Knots, Black Milk, Eric G, Cyrus the Great, Just Blaze. Trying to think of everybody. I may be forgetting some people. Pardon me if I forgot a few, but incredible album. No features, no rap features. I had Carlita Duran, who's a singer in North Carolina, down with Ninth Wonder. You know, she sang on a hook on a record. Other than that, no rap features. It was just me telling all my stories about my life.
Okay. You were talking about Illmind.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a big meeting in your life, like a big
chemistry is crazy.
Chemistry,
yeah, absolutely.
And that's why now I want to talk about the year 2010.
Right.
Live from the tape deck.
Yeah.
It seems you really work with producer, like you
Right.
you like to have a chemistry with someone, like
Right.
producer like Ninth Wonder,
Yeah.
Illmind,
Yeah.
Premier,
Right.
all that. So let's talk about the relationship with Illmind.
Yeah. Well, Illmind, an amazing producer, man. One of my favorite producers to work with. I think chemistry-wise, I have the most chemistry with Illmind because I think we both want the same thing out of music. With music, we both want to show versatility, and we both want to be able to do whatever it is that we want to do with music. You know, we want to be able to show versatility, whether it's samples, whether it's non-samples, whether it's storytelling, whether it's big records, whether it's whatever it is. We want to be able to show this chemistry of this versatility and not being stuck in one box. You know, I think that's what Illmind wants more than anything. He can give you sample chops and hip hop, and then he can give you stuff that's larger than life and blow through an arena and everything in between. And musically, I want to do the same thing. So the chemistry is really dope there because we have the same ideas for what we want to do as far as music is concerned. So in 2010, we made Live from the Tape Deck. You know, we came up with Live from the Tape Deck. It's another EP like Cloud 9, 12 songs. We did it real quick. We did that over the course of like a month and rocked out, man. And it was a fantastic project. People loved it. And, you know, Speakers on Blast came from that, and Frisbees, and Langston's Pen, and All About That, and Krylon, Kitchen Table. Kitchen Table was Sean Price's favorite record from me. Random story. Sean Price, rest in peace, one of the best ever, and a very good friend of mine. Kitchen Table was his favorite record from me. He used to call me almost every day talking about Kitchen Table once it first came out. You know, he was going crazy. Yo, Sky, yo, the Kitchen Table. He called it the Kitchen Table. Yo, the Kitchen Table. Yo, the Kitchen Table is everything. Be the Kitchen Table. That record is fucking amazing. Like he used to love that record. So yeah, all those records came from Live from the Tape Deck.
Yeah, especially if you knew Sean Price.
Yeah,
he liked to be in his kitchen.
Yeah,
on the table with the iPad and everything.
Yeah, word up, word up.
Salute to Sean Price though. 2011, the Great Debater on Free Mixtape.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Jordan. The cover.
Right.
Cosby Show Family.
Yeah.
You said for you the Cosby Show Family is the image of success.
Yeah, of success. Yep.
I got this question now in 2015. You think you could use like a TV show of nowadays?
It would be tough, man, because the TV shows nowadays are all reality shows and stuff like that, and
that's
chicks fighting each other and throwing drinks in each other's face, and you know. So I don't know, but I know back then, success to me was the Huxtables, and that's why I put them on the cover of the Great Debater, because the Great Debater, the idea behind it is just success. It's the idea of success and what it takes, and what you're willing to do for it, and what your breaking points may or may not be. So that's what the Great Debater was all about. And, you know, super dope mixtape. You know, the response and the love was through the roof. So definitely.
Okay. What's your favorite track on this song?
Huh?
The favorite track?
My favorite
On
track
this-
on
on this
Great
mixtape?
Debater.
Yeah.
Favorite track on Great Debater. Let's see. Definitive Prayer for sure. Get 'em to the Greek. Could have struck the lotto. Yeah. Designer Drugs. Yeah.
Okay.
Atypical. It's a lot.
Okay. And now we move to 2012.
Yeah.
Dream Deferred.
A Dream
That's what
Deferred.
yeah, Deferred, sorry. Excuse my French.
Nah, you good.
So, one of my favorite song and my favorite video from you, the Spike Lee song.
Spike Lee was my hero. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
I want to know like the story of the song,
Yeah.
even the video, the
Yeah.
meeting
So-
with Spike Lee and everything.
Right, absolutely. So, A Dream Deferred, my second album, my official sophomore album, the follow-up to The Salvation. Dream Deferred, I was working on the album, the idea of these dreams and how dreams turn into nightmares at times, depending on what you want, depending on how you follow through on them, and depending on if you could live up to whatever you slept on the night before. A Dream Deferred, man, Spike Lee was my hero. I got the beat from Tall Black Guy. Tall Black Guy is a really, really dope producer from here in the States. I think he's from Chicago or Detroit.
Okay.
Super dope producer. And he sent me some beats, and he sent that one, and I heard it, and it sounded like a superhero. The horns, the dun, 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 dun. It sounded like a
Yeah.
superhero. It sounded like the theme music to a superhero coming on a cartoon or a movie or something. And right away, I just thought superhero. So I said to myself, okay, who are my superheroes? And I didn't want it to be a rapper or anything like that, but I said, who are my superheroes? And outside of my pops, my superhero was Spike Lee. So that's how it came out. You know, Spike Lee was my hero. So I wrote the record, laid the record down. I was in the studio with Talib Kweli doing a record for his mixtape at the time. And he said, yo, I know you working, man. I know you working on new music. Let me hear something. So I started playing some records from A Dream Deferred, maybe 4 or 5 records. And I played him Spike Lee was my hero. And he said, dude, I don't want to step on your toes, but I would love to be on this record. Like, I would love to be on this record. This record is fantastic. I would love to jump on this record and give my version of how Spike Lee was my hero as well.
Wow.
So I said, absolutely, man. And you Talib, you know, and we had done work in the past for sure, but I'm
Yeah.
like, man, you Talib, let's do it. He jumped on the record right away, knocked out the verse, did his thing, killed it. And when the album came out, I got a tweet maybe a week later from Spike Lee.
Damn.
And yo, shout to Skyzoo and Talib Kweli. Song is crazy. I never had my song be the title of a. I never had my name be the title of a song before. Man, okay. So I replied. Everybody's going crazy. Then the next morning, I got another tweet from Spike Lee. Yo, still thinking about it. Record is crazy. Salute to the young brother Skyzoo.
Damn.
I said, man, okay.
He was
So I
into
reached
it,
out.
yeah.
2 tweets. So I reached out. I got in touch with my man Jason, who runs a lot of stuff at 40 Acres. My man Fuse Green, who does a lot of the artwork for 40 Acres. And the story goes, Spike Lee's son, Jackson,
Yeah.
was in the crib playing the album, playing A Dream Deferred.
Dope.
And when the song came on, he went next door in Spike's room and said, hey, Dad, Skyzoo made a record about you. Spike went in the room and heard it, and he tweeted me. That's how it happened. So
Shit.
shout to Jackson Lee
Yeah.
for putting it all together. And then from there, we started talking about the video, and Spike was like, if you do a video, I definitely would love to be involved. And we did the video, and Spike did a cameo and the whole deal, and it was amazing, man. Shout to Alex G putting together the video, and yeah, it was amazing.
Okay. And yeah, let's talk about now 2013 and JayZ. You picked.
Yeah,
you
Ode
picked-
to Reasonable
yeah.
Doubt. So the way that came about, in 2011, JayZ did Illmatic, where he redid Illmatic.
Yeah.
And a fan reached out on Twitter maybe a week or two after JayZ dropped, and he said, since JayZ dropped Illmatic, can we get Skyzoo to drop Reasonable Doubt? He's the only one who could redo that album the right way. So I said, man, and I retweeted it. I was honored by it, and I retweeted it, and I wrote LOL next to it. And the Twitter went crazy. People started retweeting it and asking questions. Yo, Sky, yo, you gonna do it? You gonna redo Reasonable Doubt? So I said, whoa, slow down. I didn't say I was gonna do it. Somebody tweeted it, and I thought it was cool, and I just retweeted it. And people started asking. So for 2 years, from 2011 to 2013, people was asking, yo, you gonna do it? You gonna do it? You gonna do it? Magazines, websites, they used to ask me, yo, you gonna do it? You gonna do it? So I said, all right, let's do it. But the only way I'm gonna do it is if it's different. You know, Elzai had a live band, so I wasn't gonna just rhyme over the instrumentals. And I couldn't do a live band because Elzai did that. So I didn't want to do the same thing he did. So Illmind put me on to a producer by the name of Ant-Man Wonder. Ant-Man Wonder is a producer and composer from Philly, and he remakes samples from scratch. He creates his own samples from scratch that are all original, but they sound like old school, and he does everything with an orchestra.
Okay.
And on his SoundCloud page, he redid Bring It On, the Primo joint from Reasonable Doubt.
Yep.
And it was amazing. It sounded like a 30-piece orchestra. It was amazing. And I reached out on DM on Twitter. I said, yo, we got to work. He hit me back, yo, I'm a fan. I appreciate the love. Let's work. I called him and I told him the idea for Reasonable Doubt. He said, man, I already made 5 Reasonable Doubt beats. I just redid them with an orchestra. Nobody ever heard them. He sent them to me. They was amazing. I said, yo, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. So I was super excited. I did Ode to Reasonable Doubt in about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. I did that project, knocked it out real quick. We put it out on JayZ's birthday, December 4th, 2013.
Yep.
And it was ridiculous. The memes, the Twitter, the Instagram, it was ridiculous. They was going crazy. So it was dope. It was a good project. I loved that project, man. It was fun. It was very, very personal. And the thing about it was being able to take his stories and tell them from my point of view and my interpretation of those stories from my view and my footsteps. Not redoing what he did and talking about being a mega drug dealer, but talking about my life from that point of view and in those elements.
Yeah.
And it came out really dope and honest and personal. So super dope.
Okay. And you had feedbacks from JayZ? You had the chance to add feedback?
I met JayZ in long time ago, 2002 maybe, a long time ago. So I never met him after. I never ran into him after the project came out. But the people went crazy for it, man, and you know I'm glad it worked out.
Okay. And 2014, Torae, you up.
Yeah, the Our Brothers.
So it's like it's a loop.
Yeah,
it's a loop.
Absolutely.
So,
oh man, well Torae is my family, man. That's like my brother. We're super close. Even if we didn't rap, we would still be super close homies and the best of friends and all that. But it just so happens that we both rap and we make great raps and we're able to do that together. So ever since the Primo stuff and all those different records, we always would tour together and make songs together on each other's mixtapes and things like that. And the people have been asking for years, yo, Bower Brothers, can y'all do a whole album? You know, we did the song Bower Brothers on Live from the Tape Deck. And we had some time. We always said when the time was right, when we didn't have projects going on, tours and solo albums and mixtapes, we would do it. And 2014 was the right time. And we put together a little bit of time, and we did it in the winter. We dropped it in the late spring, and it came out great. And Bower Brothers, man, Blue Yankee Fitted, Memorabilia, The Aura, you know, all these great records. Make You a Believer, you know, Rediscover, you know, 4 Bar Friday, all these great records, man. It's a fantastic album. Just on some straight rhymes, beats and rhymes. You know, when I make my albums, it's always a lot of storytelling, a lot of imagery. You can see everything. But with this album, it was just straight beats and rhymes, spitting about us being better than everybody else. And that was the beauty of it, just hip-hop, just dirty hip-hop.
Okay. Yeah, because it's very raw compared to now.
All the other stuff, absolutely.
We'll talk now about 2015.
Yeah.
Music from our friends.
Yeah.
Shit is dope.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I think you're the best to talk about that.
Yeah. Music from My Friends is my favorite album of mine. It's super personal.
Yeah.
The cohesion is out of control. The production, the layering, you know, whatever the beat sounds like, the added horns, the added strings, the transitions, the keys, the Fender Rhodes,
It's very mature. Like this album is kind of, you know, the project of grown-up man who's really like know the music.
An adult, absolutely. Just further elevation and constant growing, you know, is what that album is about. And I love it. It's my favorite album of mine. It's my 3rd album. I love it, man. They say I'm 3 for 3, man. They say I got 3 classics, you know, The Salvation, The Dream Deferred, and Music for My Friends. And that's the people, you know, I don't say that myself. That's the people, the fans, the critics. So I appreciate it, man, being able to have the gift and being blessed to make music the way I'm able to. You know, it's something I don't take lightly. It's an honor indeed. So, yeah, Music for My Friends, man. Amazing album. I love it. I love it to pieces, man. Everything about it. It came out exactly the way I wanted it to.
Okay. If you have to pick up, like, for example, somebody doesn't know this album and you have to play only one track from this album.
Yeah.
Which track will pick up?
Play one track from this album. Everything's for Sale.
Okay.
Outside still smelling like where the winter's at. Look at all these empires under these fitted hats. Look at the grills on the cars we could be leaning on. Now look at all these unmarked cars that's grilling.
Okay.
Everything's for Sale, produced by Illmind. I think it shows the balance of the dirty drums, feeling like a sample even though it's not. That record isn't a sample, but it sounds like it. So the dirty drums, the kind of sample feel, the added keys, Fender Rhodes on top of it, the simplistic but hitting home hook, the lyricism, the storytelling of what I'm talking about as far as what I saw when I stepped outside my door every day as a kid.
Yeah.
It's a great balance of what the album is.
Okay. And only one bar from this song. I put you on the spot.
Oh, man.
I put you on the spot.
One. Well, I don't know if I could give you one. I think I might have to give you the whole 2.
Okay.
6 degrees from whoever you need to get you yours, and trying to get it is everything they applaud.
Huh. Okay.
So,
No, man, we're close to finish this interview.
yeah,
That was very a pleasure, you know, to
yeah,
go on your career through the years.
yeah.
Everything. I always finish my interview with 3 classic questions.
Okay.
What's your definition of hip hop?
My definition of hip hop is storytelling for the voices and the people who don't know how to. Storytelling and being able to inflict those emotions and those moments for people over the sound that built the city and that the city built. Hard drums, great loops, whether it's a sample or not. Just bringing the aura and the essence of the city, whatever city it is that you live in, bringing the authenticity and the aura and the essence full circle with the storytelling.
I like that. Do you think there is something better than money?
The only thing better than money, 2 things, happiness and respect.
Okay.
But to me, money brings a lot of happiness. It's not the only way, but it's a lot of it due to the world that we live in. Not to us, but due to the world that's been put around us and the way we've been conditioned to it. But happiness and respect.
Okay. Now that's your shot. Tell whatever you want. Twitter, if you want to say something.
Yeah.
Open mic.
Open mic. Shout to everybody watching, everybody tuning in. Shout to J Hart and seeing what the movement is. And this here is the Big Bang Show. So you know the way the Big Bang go. And as far as me on an interview, I throw a Big Bang flow. You hear it and make the Big Bang whoa. It's like they don't understand what it be about. So the ones out take the scenic route. But we be the ones that get a lane, get it the way it's supposed to be with giving names. No giving names if you grew up where I be at. But now we giving names as far as the best on the feedback. As far as the lines, the way I keep that. I throw a couple in the stash. I reach back, put them towards you because you need that. Can't say that I don't give back or feedback. And this is all feedback. And it's enough to make you relax. It's enough to make it where if I took away the needles that's attached to it, y'all would probably relapse. But still, it's J Hart, the Big Bang Show, Skyzoo, the best with the flow. Let's go.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I didn't expect a freestyle, but it was dope, man.
Freestyle off the head.
My man.
Yeah, you already know CJ Fly, repping Pro Ever, repping Brooklyn, Beast Coast, and we here with the Big Bang Show and my homie J Hart, man. Holla. Download the way I see it. Peace.
So that's the new music from Sean Price. What name on the track?
Huh?
What was the name on the track?